And then once you found that inner connection, as you inhale, gently contract through your back until you make a little arch. Make it conscious. Hold for a moment. And then slowly release. We'll practice each of these 3 times. As you inhale, let your belly rise. Contract through your back. The front body release. And then come down for a slow count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time as you inhale, your belly rise, front body expands with your breath, back body shortens and contracts. Let your mind consciously contract those muscles. Then release for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a moment just to rest. Bring your focus to the front body. As you exhale, draw your low back down. Feel your tailbone curl up, your ribs pull down. Let that contraction be conscious. And then slowly release. Taking 2 more cycles. As you inhale, expand through the front body. As you exhale, contract through the front body. Curl in, round your back. And then release for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Your inhale breath, expand your center. As you exhale, shorten the front body. Let it round your back. Make sure the ribs move down. Tailbone moves up. Let it affect your neck and your shoulders if that's comfortable. Then release for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming all the way to 0 effort. Slide your hands back behind your head. We're going to let the front body lift the head and chest to add a little more awareness and control there. As you breathe in, expand the front body. With your exhale, contract through the front body. Let your back release. Don't come into any strain through the back body, lifting the head a little bit. Release for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take all the time you need to get all the way to 0 effort. 2 more times here. As you breathe in, expand through the front body. As you breathe out, let the front body shorten, curl in. Let the ribs moving down lift your head and chest, even if it's only a millimeter, respecting what your back needs, but letting it round in whatever amount is right. And coming down super slow. Last time, breathe in. As you breathe out, let the low back move down. Tail curls up, ribs pull down. Let that affect the upper body, curling yourself up. And then come down as slowly as you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And softening all the way back out to 0 effort. Focusing on the back one final time, bring your elbows alongside the ribs, fingertips up towards the sky. As you feel ready, press the elbows, backs of the arms, shoulders. Shoulder blades draw towards one another. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Start to tip your pelvis, reaching your heels and sitting bones towards one another. Find a conscious arch. And then slowly release. See if you can release first from the low back, then from the middle back, letting the shoulder blades rise up your back. From the upper back, shoulder blades move apart. And finally through the arms. 2 more times. Start with the elbows, backs of the arms, shoulders. Shoulder blades draw towards one another. Let it lift your chest. Shoulder blades draw down your back. Let it lift and expand the upper belly. Let the bottom line of your pelvis press down, fill the low back. And then this time, see if you can release through that whole line, coming down slow for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and all the way to 0 effort. One final time here, this time with the elbows, backs of the arms, shoulders, shoulder blades draw in, shoulder blades draw down the back. Let your pelvis roll towards your toes. Let that whole arch be conscious. No strain, gentle contraction. And then go as slowly as you can with the release, taking tiny, tiny, tiny little steps. Coming all the way to 0 effort. Take a moment just to rest. And then as you're ready, come over onto your left side. Add a pillow for your head or let your head rest on your arms. Let your knees come up in line with your hips. Toes peek out just past your knees. Top arm either rests on the hip or makes a journey overhead. As you inhale, expand through the right side. As you exhale, shorten the right side. Let it lift the foot and shin. Shoulder draws down towards the hip. Hip draws up towards the shoulder. Maybe that lifts your head away from the bottom arm. And then very, very, very slowly release. We'll take 2 more cycles. As you inhale, lengthen the side body. As you exhale, shorten the side body. The right hip draw up, right shoulder, right ribs draw down. If you're sweeping the arm overhead, let it reach out past your hip, reaching towards the bottom of the mat. And then very slowly release. See if you can let your breath move into that side as you come all the way back down. And no force, no push or strain into the shoulders. Just letting the side body lengthen. One more time. Inhale, lengthens the side. Exhale, closes the side. See if your mind can start to ask those muscles to contract. And let that move the hip, the leg, the shoulder, your head, your arm. And come down in tiny, tiny, tiny little steps. Let the right arm come in. Extend that top leg out long, letting it reach down towards the bottom of the mat. Make a kickstand with that bottom leg. And we'll continue to focus on the outer hip and the side body. Let the toes turn down. As you inhale, slowly lift that leg up. And then start to draw your hip up towards your shoulder. Maybe you curl up with the head and chest. And slowly, slowly release. Let the leg lengthen away from you. And then slowly lower it down. We'll take that 2 more cycles. Toes turn down to release through the outer hip. Lift the leg. Then start to draw the hip up towards your waistline. Maybe you draw the shoulder down. And then very slowly release from your center outwards. Let the leg lengthen, letting it move away. And then slowly lower it down. Let it be a weight that you're releasing very, very gently down onto the mat. One more time. Let that leg get super long. And then lower it back down onto the mat. Take a moment just to rest. Come onto your back. Notice how that right side feels compared to the left. And when you're ready, switch sides. Again, as you set yourself up here, knees come in line with the hips. Toes just peek out past the knees. Make sure your neck and your head feel comfortable. Let the top arm either rest over the hip or let it start overhead, taking whichever one works best for you. As you inhale, expand the left side. With your exhale, shorten that side. Hip draws up, shoulder draws down. Let it move the head if that's comfortable, supporting with the bottom hand if that feels right. And then let it be as slow a release back down to the mat as you can. Two more times as you inhale, lengthen with your breath. And as you exhale and let your breath out, close that space. Let your mind become really conscious of how those side waist muscles contract and how it affects the hip, your shoulder, your head and neck. And then very, very slowly lower back down. See if you can let both the leg and hip and the chest, shoulder, and head be a weight that the side body is gently lowering down to the mat. Give yourself one final cycle here on this left side. The inhale expands. The exhale contracts and shortens. If you're reaching with the arm, let it extend down past that bottom hip. And then let the release be super slow. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finally letting the top leg extend. Again, bottom knee bends, coming into a place where you feel like you're balanced. Turn the toes down. As you feel ready, let the leg rise. As the outer hip contracts, draw it up. Maybe the shoulder draws down, maybe that lifts your head and chest. And then very, very slowly re-lengthen, let the leg soften away from you, and then let it come down. Make sure you let go completely 2 more times. Toes turn down, and let the leg rise up. Draw the hip up. Let the side waist and the outer hip contract. And then very, very slowly, tiny little steps, let the leg come all the way back down. Make sure you release completely last time. Toes turn down, leg rises up. Draw the hip up. Again, let the waist, the outer hip, the outer thigh contract. And then very slowly coming down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take all the time you need. And then as you finish, come onto your back. Check in with the length of both sides. Either keep the knees bent or extend the legs. Give yourself a moment with your eyes closed. Your mind absorb and process that work.